What if the sun, the star that warms our world, suddenly went supernova? You wouldn't have time to react. The devastation would arrive in minutes. Instead of the calm, familiar star hanging in the sky, you see it beginning to tear itself apart. A massive explosion, a supernova, right in our own solar system. It sounds terrifying, but today we're going to explore a thought experiment. What would actually happen if the sun went supernova? First, a quick reality check. A supernova is a star's explosive death. For the most massive stars, it happens when the core can no longer hold up against gravity. Once the core collapses, the outer layers are violently ejected, releasing an enormous amount of energy in a single moment. This is also how the universe creates many of the heavy elements we find on Earth. Stars like our sun, however, are too small to end this way. They gradually puff up and fade instead. Our sun is a medium-sized star, and stars like it simply don't have enough mass to explode as supernovae. In real life, the sun will eventually expand into a red giant and then fade into a white dwarf. It will not explode. But for the sake of this experiment, let's imagine the impossible happened. Let's imagine the sun somehow gained enough mass and went supernova. If the sun exploded, it wouldn't just blow up like we see in movies. It would release more energy in a single moment than billions of nuclear bombs detonating all at once. The first thing to reach Earth wouldn't even be the shock wave. It would be intense radiation traveling at the speed of light. In less than 8 minutes, Earth would be exposed to a burst of energy so powerful it would overwhelm the planet instantly. The inner planets wouldn't stand a chance. Mercury and Venus would be completely destroyed, reduced to superheated debris almost immediately. Earth would fare no better. Our oceans would begin to boil and vaporize, the atmosphere would be stripped away, and the surface of the planet would be sterilized in moments. There would be no warning and no time to react. Everything familiar would be gone in a cosmic instant. Then comes the shockwave. A massive wall of stellar material would surge outward through the solar system, slamming into what remains of Earth before continuing past Mars and through the asteroid belt. Even the outer planets wouldn't escape. Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune would have their atmospheres violently disturbed, their moons scattered, and their systems torn apart. By the time the explosion finished rippling outward, the solar system as we know it would no longer exist. What would be left behind wouldn't look like a solar system at all. Just expanding clouds of gas, dust, and heavy elements slowly drifting through space. No planets, no stable orbits, no sun, just debris becoming part of the galaxy. As destructive as supernovae are, they are also creators. These explosions forge elements heavier than iron, including gold, uranium, and many of the elements that make planets, and even life, possible. The atoms that make up your body exist because ancient stars exploded long before our sun was ever born. In a very real sense, we are made of star remnants. Luckily, the nearest star capable of going supernova is thousands of light years away, so Earth is safe for now. But somewhere in the universe, a massive star is reaching the end of its life. And when it finally explodes, it will briefly outshine entire galaxies. So next time you look up at the sun, be grateful that it's calm, stable, and ordinary. Because while supernovae are some of the most powerful events in existence, they're best admired from very, very far away. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the explosive side of the universe, consider subscribing for more calm and curious explorations of space.